I probably won't be giving you many more of these, because I was only requisitioned one ream of paper this year, and, wow,
I got a question for you.
okay.
All right, you're starting off here on the purchase of this building. HCI funds was $88,000.
Yep.
Solid waste funds was $43,000. Actual construction was $500, so we got $676,000, right?
Yep.
All right. Out of that, the DNR supplied 142,
Well, it's actually, when you get all done, it's right 150.
150,000.
Yeah. You're gonna have to read all the way through it, Nick, because...
All right, I'm just trying to speed things up here a little bit. The solid waste supplied almost 242,000, is that correct?
At that time, yes.
And the Howard Center funds received from whatever source was 291,000.
Correct. And then you'll see some subtractions for money reimbursed from vendors for taxes from the state of Iowa. And also a sale of a steel building that was on the property, fire insurance claim for stuff that got burned up. In-kind things that were, we use those as matches to get part of this grant. And equipment like a truck, a saw, compressor, those was all factored back out, because after the startup of all these items were no longer needed to be in that, so they could be factored back out.
Okay, so my point here was the taxpayers came up originally with 242,000, well, the DNR, that's taxpayers too, but that's over the whole state. Is that correct?
Pardon? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Sac County Solid Waste Agency came up with that.
That's the taxpayers.
Well, not necessarily taxpayers.
You know, I've got a suggestion moving things along. Jim handed out a lot of information.
Yeah.
You know, he's very accessible. If you have some questions between now and the next meeting, while I speed things up.
Please come
I
up.
agree.
Some of these figures, these yearly figures, I'll just warn you, if you look at your audits from our auditor, they don't necessarily correlate item for item. I just glanced and they're off 6,000 or 8,000, but some of that's timing and when the bills come in. And
Your accounting system is a cash.
yeah, anyway, so you will notice that if you look at the copy of your audit. We're going to have a copy, our auditor's about half a year ahead of last year, so we've already, and so we'll have an audit in hand pretty soon to compare, well, you know, things like our recycling costs and other things. Okay?
Okay, fine.
Okay. Larry. Thanks, Jim.
They're putting the tanks in, should be done Thursday. Leachate, they're hauling out, there's about 216,000 gallon haul right now, about another 150, 75. And hopefully I can get the road built up down there in that corner this week. It's been dry long enough now. And then that side slope sand, we're going to need some in the spring. I was wondering, I can get it for $4 a ton now, over 6.5 next spring.
What's the transportation?
Well, the county will haul it, so I don't know what it'd be there. But Mike told me that the other day, he was out there, he says, he knows we paid 6.5 ton for it last year. He says, and I called down there, and I can get it for $4 a ton this fall.
How many ton?
I'm figuring 150 ton. That's 10 loads.
And that's going to go where?
On the side slope, what we got left in cell 7, A and B. That's a liner that we got to put on the side slope before we put garbage on. That should take care of what we got left there.
You'd be able to place it up on the slope. Right?
Well, I was going to stockpile it and then put it in there as we needed it, so we can wash down and wash away.
I left the pack at the
I
office.
mean, for
I just handed it out.
$2.50 a ton savings, that'll probably take care of the trucking.
Thank you.
Ben, you're a aggregate man.
I should probably abstain from it because is it Hallett's?
Yeah?
Yeah, I probably.
Oh, that's,
It's probably a stuff we made county road gravel with, what do you always say?
Well, no, it'll be what we use is what he uses for ice control. It's gotta be washed sand, so
Okay,
it's gotta be not just road gravel.
but I know we got a pile of it there.
Yeah.
It's probably cheap.
And I called down to talk to Tammy that day, and she said, yeah, I can give it to you for that, so,
Well, I'd make a motion to go get it.
okay.
is there a second?
Second.
Richard, second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion carried. Go ahead.
Change has been ordered for the end loader, they haven't come in yet, that's all I've got, unless you got something.
Nope.
Getting a lot of shingles?
Slow down.
Yeah, it's slow, but we're still getting some, 2-3 loads a day.
Okay. Old business recycling contract. We put this on the agenda. By way of information, I got information from the city of Sac City in regard to estimating the cost of versus hauling recyclables for Sac to the Howard Center or Carroll would be about, according to the manager, would be about $5,000 additional per year for them. And Wall Lake got back to me, and Wall Lake estimated 1,000. And other than that, I haven't heard from any of the other towns. Some of you are here. You know, I think it'd be helpful if you revisit the issue, just for information's sake. I'm not trying to push one way or the other, but, you know, I don't think it's my place to do that. And I think the towns that, for example, Rudd does, you know, you might visit with Robbie and see if he's come up with anything more concrete than he did 2 months ago out of the landfill.
Yeah, we should be getting cars this next meeting.
Yeah. So, unless anybody else has more,
Our initial discussion was leave it alone.
okay,
Rudd's doing his fine job. I tried to fix what isn't broken.
well, Rudd could still do the job, Brett.
But it's gonna be an additional cost.
Cost, yeah, that's correct.
That's what you want to find
And we don't have that now. So,
The only way you could offset that, like the city of Sac, is we charge what down there again, Carol? Time for that. If we could lower the assessment.
$40, $40-some.
No.
20.
20, I thought.
Yes, 20.
All right. If we can lower our cost, you know, we can't keep charging the same amount without offsetting. See what I'm getting at? If it's gonna cost $5,000 more for the city of Sac City is what I'm saying. All right? To do that, just for what we're, you know, we're not subtracting the cost of doing business with the Howard Center out of this. That's my point, okay? If you're not gonna subtract that cost out, you know, there's no point. But if you're not gonna be paying the Howard Center their fee, and you're gonna pay $5,000, let's just take Sac City, $5,000 to haul it to Carroll, all right? And the Howard Center, like according to Jim's figures here last year, for the 845 ton, our net cost was $145 a ton.
You
For,
figured that.
With your trip.
right, yeah, yeah. So, if we're not gonna be paying, I'm just looking at Sac City here, if we have to pay them $20 a ton, plus $5,000, and not pay Howard Center, it's going to be a savings. Now, like in your town, whatever, if we're not gonna be paying Howard Center, you know, they're, okay, this is like $145 a ton, the Sac, you know, this group isn't, and we're gonna be paying them 20 instead, we can easily afford that transportation. But you can't afford to pay the transportation and pay the Howard Center. But you won't need to.
About a collection point, somebody to monitor the collection point, somebody to make sure that the truck is loaded correctly.
Who's doing that now
Somebody's
for
gonna
you?
have to unload it.
Who's doing that now?
Really?
Rudd's doing it.
Yeah, I know. He's just hauling Carroll instead.
He's hauling it from, right now, he's hauling Littons from Litton to Sac and dumping it off, and it's all in the trailer.
I realize that.
He can't haul that trailer to Carroll for that kind of
No.
He's
That's what we're
gonna,
saying.
that's why you
So
have
it's
to
got
get
to
the
be put in a
equipment.
bigger container, so you gotta have a collection point to collect it before you can put it in a bigger container. There's just a lot of costs that aren't involved in the $20
Oh, yeah.
and aren't even mentioned.
Well, like for Sac City.
All right. Yeah, Rick. I think we're all,
Sac City's estimated their additional costs of transporting it down.
Would be $5,000.
20, if the Solid Waste Commission or an agency is paying $120 a ton less in cost to recycle. If they can take it down there and pay them $20 to recycle, and it's only gonna cost Sac City, how many tons a year does Sac City generate in recyclables? You know, Jim?
Just handed it out.
It's like on that sheet,
he's
I
on
think it's the last one.
About 152 tons.
152 ton.
Now, excuse me, now, Sac City doesn't generate that. Sac City picks that much up. That's not what Sac City generates. I got 2 pages full of businesses in Sac City bring lots of cardboard and a lot of other things. The hospital brings their own stuff, VT brings their own stuff, all the other stores bring a lot of their own stuff. They're not commissioned by the city of Sac. This is just what Sac City picks up. That's not our drop boxes, not any of that stuff that we have, the trailer that sits out there overnight. We don't weigh any of that stuff. Those things are not.
What do you market,
Pardon?
the 845 tons a year?
That's weighed.
That's everything.
Okay, continue with your example.
25% at least, 30% is from Sac City.
Yeah. What should you look at the population and?
Well, they're 2,000 and something, some towns are 200.
Well, okay. You're paying, the cost of operation is $145, it was this past fiscal year, to have per ton of recycling at the Howard Center. You're looking at $20-some, so there's $120 per ton savings in, just start there. Now, the difference is how much additional cost are you going to expend to transport down? Even if you spend $13 per ton to $20 per ton transportation costs, put that on your $20 that you're paying them to sort it. You're talking about $40 to $50 cost per ton. That's almost a $95 per ton difference in cost. Doing it in-house, doing it in here at Sac County, or doing it down there and paying the additional cost of transportation. Are you going to turn around? We just got done saying, you pay for your recycling and stuff through tipping fees and assessments. You just got done talking about from the landfill side of things, you're looking to increase the cost. If you can save up to $100 per ton or $80 per ton on recycling costs, they may not give you a rebate back to them or lower your cost per tipping fee to SAC or whatever, but they won't have to raise their rates because you're going to be able to have this many dollars kept in-house savings that you can save and set aside.
That we can keep to keep the landfill running.
But, yeah, I mean,